The sound of David's phone buzzing cut through the priest's words like a blade through silk. I watched in disbelief as my husband of exactly 47 minutes, held up a finger to Father Martinez and whispered, "Sorry, I have to take this." "David, what are you?" I started, but he was already walking toward the church's side door, his phone pressed to his ear. The congregation of 200 guests fell into an uncomfortable silence. My mother's face went pale in the front pew. David's mother, Margaret, simply shrugged as if this was perfectly normal behavior. "He'll be right back, dear," Margaret called out, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "You know how important his work is." 20 minutes passed. Then 30. The priest cleared his throat repeatedly, the flower girl started crying, and my maid of honor Jessica squeezed my hand so tight I thought she might break my fingers. "Maybe we should," Father Martinez began. "No," I said firmly, though my voice cracked. "He'll be back. He has to be back." But deep down, something cold was spreading through my chest. The same feeling I'd had when I found those mysterious credit card charges last month. The same feeling when he started working late, every Tuesday and Thursday. I gathered my dress and walked toward the side door where David had disappeared. I needed air. I needed answers. The old church had thin walls, and as I approached the vestibule, I heard his voice drifting from the courtyard outside. "I know, baby. I know it's hard watching me marry her, but we talked about this." My heart stopped. The prenup protects everything. Once the inheritance clears from her grandmother's estate, we can file for divorce. 6 months, tops. No, she has no idea. She's so trusting, it's almost pathetic. The phone slipped from my trembling hands and clattered to the stone floor. David spun around, his face going white as fresh snow. "Sarah, I can explain." "Explain what?" My voice came out as a whisper, then grew stronger. "Explain how you married me for my inheritance. Explain who you were just calling baby. It's not what you think. David Michael Clark." The voice boomed from behind me like thunder. We both turned to see my brother Marcus striding through the courtyard, still in his military dress uniform from the ceremony. At 6'4" with shoulders like a linebacker, Marcus had always been protective of me. But I'd never seen this look in his eyes, pure calculated rage. "Marcus, stay out of this," David stammered, backing against the garden wall. "Oh, I don't think so." Marcus pulled out his own phone. "See, funny thing about being in military intelligence, you learn to be thorough about background checks." "What are you talking about?" I asked, though part of me was terrified to know. Marcus's jaw tightened. "Your husband has been married before. Twice. Both wealthy women. Both divorces finalized right after major inheritances were settled." David's face went from white to green. "That's not, you can't prove." "Can't I?" Marcus held up his phone, and even from several feet away, I could see photos, documents, news articles. Meet David Clark, whose real name is Daniel Carson. Originally from Phoenix, not Portland like he told you. Previous marriages to Rebecca Holloway, oil heiress, and Amanda Chun, tech fortune. My legs gave out. I grabbed the stone wall for support, my wedding dress dragging in the dirt. "Sarah, please let me explain." David reached for me. "Don't touch her," Marcus roared, stepping between us. "You've done enough damage." "And who exactly were you on the phone with?" I found my voice again, stronger now, fueled by rage. "Your girlfriend? Your partner in crime? Or maybe wife number 4? David opened his mouth, but no words came out. "Answer her." Marcus's voice was deadly quiet now, which somehow made it more terrifying than when he'd been shouting. There's someone else, yes. But Sarah, the feelings I have for you are real. Real." I screamed, and I didn't care that half the wedding party had probably heard me through the church walls. "You just told her I was pathetic. You called our marriage a business transaction." "Because I panicked. I didn't know how to tell Chelsea that I was developing actual feelings for you." "Chelsea." The name tasted like poison. "The same Chelsea who was your business partner when we met? The one you said was just a friend?" David's silence was answer enough. I pulled off my engagement ring, the ring he'd probably bought with money stolen from his previous wives, and threw it at his feet. "Marcus, get me out of here." "Wait." I turned back to David one final time. Before I go, I want you to know something. He looked up hopefully as if I might forgive him. Grandma's inheritance? The one you were so excited about. I smiled, and it felt sharp as broken glass. I donated every penny to charity last week, a foundation for women escaping abusive marriages. David's face crumpled. You what? I've suspected you for months. The late nights, the credit cards, the way you kept asking about the will. So I had Marcus run that background check 3 weeks ago. Marcus grinned. My sister's smarter than you gave her credit for. But the wedding. David sputtered. I wanted to see how far you'd go. Whether you'd actually marry me knowing there was no money. I adjusted my veil one last time. Congratulations, Daniel. You just committed fraud for absolutely nothing. As we walked away, I heard David shouting behind us, but Marcus's steady presence beside me made everything feel manageable. 6 months later, I got a letter from the district attorney. Daniel had been arrested for marriage fraud. Apparently, Marcus had recorded our entire courtyard conversation and turned it over to authorities. They'd been building a case against him for years. I was sitting in my new apartment, the one I'd bought with my actual job savings, when Jessica called. Any regrets? She asked. I looked at the photo on my mantle, me and Marcus at the charity gala, presenting the check from Grandma's inheritance to the women's shelter. In the picture, I was wearing a simple blue dress and the biggest smile of my life. None, I said. I learned something important that day. What's that? Trust your instincts. And never, ever let someone make you feel small enough to accept crumbs when you deserve the whole feast. The evening sun streamed through my windows, and for the first time in years, I felt completely, genuinely free. Sometimes the worst day of your life becomes the first day of your real life. Sometimes you have to lose everything you thought you wanted to find everything you actually need. And sometimes the best revenge is simply refusing to be anyone's victim. The end.